Alright, so for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do some hand drafting for orthographic views using some different line weights. And I have this chair set up in a way to do a capture of what I'm drawing. So anyway, it's kind of like right up in my face, but I'm going to try and do a thing anyway to show you guys how to do a thing. So this video has audio and it's in real time, and then this one's in 10 times faster for that. All right, so I'm gonna start by recognizing that I don't have all the fancy tools that I love to have at school. I don't have a drafting board. I don't have big paper. I don't have uh, triangles or rulers or all the tools for making hand drafting easy. But the whole point of this project is I want you guys to know that it's about the skills, not the tools. And so if you have those skills, develop those skills, practice, you will get there. So what I have is a spoon and a Rock Band drumstick, and a couple game cases. And these are here to help keep lines straight. That's kind of the point, is to keep lines straight. Now, what I don't have is something to measure, and I'm going to have to do some measurements, just kind of blocking things out on the paper that I have. The other thing I don't have is I don't have the large paper like we would normally have. So I have a bunch of random pieces of junk mail, and the backs of some envelopes are open enough that I'm going to do my hand drafting on that. Also, I don't have a drafting board, so I'm going to use a book. This book is the First Families Vancouver African American of the Vancouver's African American community. It's actually a really interesting read. It's here local Clark County stuff that I have read, and I think it's kind of cool to dig into your own local history in things that matter. All right, so let's get started. I wanted to draft my own house, so I'm going to make sure that, yep, it's recording. All right, so my house is, I'm gonna rotate that down, a ranch style house, and I'm gonna use one of these tools to block out the walls. So when hand drafting, it's about using tools to have a nice clean straight line, and it's also about uh, drawing with light lines. It's technical drawing, and so it's not like a skill-based drawing. This is a technical drawing. It's different than having art skills and just like being able to do it easily. So for this technical drawing, again, I think anyone can do it with the right practice. So start light. You cannot do this with a pen because you can't do light lines and heavier lines with a pen. It's either you have a line or you don't have a line with a pen. Whereas with pencil, and you don't need fancy hand drafting pencils. You can do it with just a regular number 2 pencil. With pencil, you can start out with light lines. And the point of this is so that you can later go and darken those lines once you are firm on the boundary that you're drafting. So I'm starting out with just this big rectangle with some light lines, and then I'm going to start blocking in the different shapes. So the front of my house has a gable that I've built on there. The sides of my house, so I know I need, measurement wise, I think I went to, well, okay. So I know I need to have, so I'm going to just kind of block off that third of the hand draft is going to be, here's another tool here, the garage. So the garage has a chimney right above it. And then we have the front bay window, and then we have, what I'm hoping you guys do is draft either your own house in your head, and then either you look at it and then you draft it, or you draft a neighbor's house. Look across the street, draft that house. That's what I want to kind of have you guys practice. All right, so then I have the bedroom, the gable. So we're having not that much space, and these are just kind of quadranting out the house, and then we're going to put the gable right about there. Now, I don't think the gable comes up above that roof line, so we're just going to drop a line about there. That's half the gable, and we're going to come over here, the other half. And because we don't have perfect measurement tools, I'm going to be a little flexible on this. However, I want you to try. That's kind of the goal of this project, is to practice doing a technical drawing with the best attempt at doing the drafting, the architecture that you can. So gable is the term for like this roof line that kind of pops out in front of you. So I'd like you guys to also kind of start learning some technical architectural terms in your draftings, but we'll get there. All right, so just starting out the line. Let's use the spoon here. The spoon is a nice long. Alright, so this comes down to about there, I'm going to say. Oh no, it's the exact same roof line as that. So come to here, come to there. Alright, so there's our roof. Just blocked up. Now we need to darken exterior walls and have nice clean interior walls. So I see that my measurement is off here, so let's just erase that first line. This is the hole in the front. Alright, and we're going to erase this line because, well, it missed. It wasn't the correct line. And that's the whole point of having light lines in the beginning. So you don't know for certain until you kind of do the work. And so you don't want to overcommit on a line. Similar to sketching back in October when I taught you guys, sketching is about not committing on lines. It's similar in technical drawing. The difference is now you are also using tools. Tools is a relative term in the sense that I'm using a kitchen spoon because it has a nice long straight handle. Ideally, I'd be using a ruler. But I'm trying to teach you that tools don't matter. You can use the correct tool or you can use a similar enough tool to make it work. If you develop those skills to do some technical drawing, you'll be good. You'll be good. Alright, so we got that there. Now, my front porch goes up a little bit. Whoa, that's probably too much. And it's crooked. Erase that, try again. Let's use Xbox Lego Jurassic Park. Sounds like a good one. So, oh yeah, I made the bottom of see that this isn't the actual line. It actually looks more like it. So let's make a new boundary line. Nice and firm. Right there. Erase the old one. So that looks more proportionally correct. So we're going to go and erase this line. Alright. And that actually kind of naturally leads itself. I'm going to draw those lines in there. Okay. Now, okay. Now we're going to draw the 2-bedroom windows. And we're going to go back and darken the windows, come down a little bit. Doing a light line all the way across to keep the 2 windows in line. And then we're going to now fill in the actual window. That looks like an awfully tall window. You know what? We're going to go with it. There's one window. There's 2 windows. It does have this mid divider. We're going to erase the lines that were just kind of holding those 2 windows in alignment. And the whole purpose is everything needs to be in alignment. Also, we're going to erase this line that we put just to kind of quadrant off this part of the house versus this part of the house. Now that we kind of have some control over things. Alright, now that we have the windows, I actually have these flower beds. I am going to add that detail, because why not, right? We have the time. So the flower beds come down a little bit to there. What I do want you guys to focus on is this is a technical drawing about architecture, not an artistic rendering of your house with landscaping. So focus on the building architecture, not the landscaping. So although you can put architectural elements of the house, please don't put the plants and like the shrubs and the trees and whatnot. Focus on the architecture itself. That's what this technical drawing is aiming to get you guys to do. So now I'm just kind of darkening these lines because they're good. I like them. But these are also interior lines. So I am actually just doing kind of a more lighter darkening of a line. Alright, so I got the windows. Let's do the big bay window in the same alignment. So we're going to come up to there. Do a bay window. The bay window kind of goes there. And it looks like I didn't give myself enough room for my garage. So hold the garage. I put this in the wrong spot, so we're going to erase that. So if we have the bay window starts right there. It's just a front window. I need to look up technical term of bay window. I'm using that, but I don't think that's actually correct. Alright, so we have that window in there. Actually, that window also has a flower box in front of it that I built last year, 2 years ago actually, in the summertime, and So I noticed that this DVD Xbox case has a little bump in it. I need to be careful when I go over that bump. Alright, so we got the flower box. And next, looks like we erased the pole that came down. Let's put the pole back. Oof, I missed. Erase again. You know what I need to do is record the top view, because I'm guessing this webcam really doesn't show much. Alright, we don't have a front door yet, so let's add the front door. Start with some light lines. And the front door line. Same there. It's a fairly large front door, but you know, looks okay. I'm good with it. So let's kind of darken that line a little bit. I think my front door detail is I have this curvy piece right here, and I have handle. I'm not going to focus on all the details, kind of just trying to block off, you know, what's a door, what's a window, what's the actual shape of the house. So then this ends here. And then we go, actually this is where I need to extend to include the garage. About there, looks about correct. I stopped there because I didn't remember how far to go, and I was doing this nice dark line, so I need to go back over all that now that I figured it out. I'm also using the paper itself to line things up so that I can kind of stay straight that way. So this is where I know the chimney is right about there. It sticks up. And the other thing is this is not a perspective drawing. This is a front view orthographic drawing, meaning that this isn't like some 3D perspective drawing. This is a 2D this nice long 2D technical draft. Nice dark line. Alright, hey, this house is coming together. Nice dark line for the exterior wall. So hopefully you can kind of see the exterior walls have these nice dark lines. The interior walls are lighter. That's called different line weights. And that's kind of the point, is you can see the boundary of the building by the nice dark line versus the details of the building. Ooh, I missed. There we go. With lighter lines. And that's what I want you to be able to do is a light line versus a dark line. So the chimney. Okay. Now the last detail I need to add here is this garage piece in the front view here. And then I'll go to the side view. Alright, so then we have the roof comes down and then the garage itself started at this line, goes to that line. Let's add inlay a little bit because That's how it works. Not bad. And I think for details, that's kind of where I'm at. That line stops there. This line goes away. That was a mistake line early on in the day. Just try and block things up. Alright, so we have the house with the garage. It does have kind of this other line here. That just, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. So my front porch has a little boundary right there. Okay. Now we're going to do the side view on this other piece. And yes, it's a scrap piece of paper, but that's the whole point, is how do you do some architecture with a scrap that you have, or whatever resources you have, even if it's just junk paper. So the point that I want to make here is I want things to stay in alignment for your side view. So alignment in proportion and scale. So the same size, your side view, as your front view. And so I'm going to start with just a light line there that is erasable. And we're going to go up here, align these two pieces of paper. Now, ideally, we'd be doing this on a single piece of paper, but again, I don't have that huge 11 by 17 paper here at home. And the point I'm trying to make is you don't have to have that paper to do technical drawings. Here's another one. So now I want to find the midpoint of this. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Trying a little midpoint dot that I will erase later. And then proportionally, the house is kind of wider, so I'm going to kind of come out to here. I could go and do measurements and do a ruler to keep things in exact scale. That's usually what I do each year, but because I don't have a ruler at home, I don't expect you guys to have a ruler at home, so I'm trying not to require that this year. This year is just do your best to make it work to scale, but it doesn't have to be an exact, oh, this is a 16th size of the reality. I'm drawing the roof line. Now we're going to erase all those marking lines that I kind of had set up. And I know that detail-wise, my house has a window on the side, so I am going to add that detail. Looks like we need to have one more line here, a little darker. It's all about kind of controlling that pencil to really know where it's going, and the tools help with that, along with practice. It's not like I do this all the time. I do this once a year to teach this unit, but I enjoy it when I do it, and I am happier to use digital tools to do these things, but I do believe there's some value in doing it in old school way. So I know that my chimney kind of comes up like this, kind of wider, and then That is my chimney. Okay, I know it's, you know what, actually, does it straddle the point of this? I don't think so. I actually need to move that chimney. Oops. It is only in the front part of the house, and no, I'm right. It does straddle it. It's a little bit on this side, a little bit on that side, but it's more in the front than the back. So I had it correctly the first time. So now I'm going to put the line exactly back where it was. Alright, so there's my chimney, got the house. Alright, so now let's add the detail of the window. The window is kind of down a little bit, so I'm going to just do a light line to begin with. It's a smaller window than these front ones, so I'm going to kind of light line to begin with. It's fairly centered to the house. And then it has a midpoint. Again, you notice these lines are lighter because they're interior, just detail lines, not exterior boundary lines. That's the way of showing these different line weights correctly. That corner needs a little bit of work. Whoa, it's a heavy line. Oh well. And okay. I'm not feeling this one. And this one doesn't have a flower box on it actually. So I don't need to add that detail. Okay, so now we have our side view, our front view, and they're in the exact proportion and scale. So they're the same. And we're gonna let that sit for the time lapse video. And we did a thing. So we're gonna let that time lapse video, record that for a moment, and I'm gonna stop my lecture video. How long did that take? Half hour? Oh my goodness, 28 minutes. Well, it is what it is. Took a half hour to do my hand drafting. I'm going to give you guys like 2 weeks to do this. I feel like you can fit in an hour or two to practice and do a hand drafting with a front view and a side view sometime in the next 2 weeks. And you can demonstrate architectural drafting, hand drafting. And either draft your own house, a house across the way. I do want to kind of keep it in the simplicity of something you can see and do instead of like something just you make up in your head or something. So something you see. So ideally take a picture of it and send in the picture of what it looks like and then your hand drafting. That's what you're going to submit. And so I'm going to demonstrate that as well.